Shannon with girlsinthestacks.com, and we're here at the beautiful Legacy Books in Plano, Texas. It's really pretty. And I'm here with Christopher Farnsworth, who wrote Blood Oath. Yay, smile. Gosh, that's so pretty. We read with the book, Jack It Off.
Oh, yeah.
So I haven't really even seen it yet.
Yeah, no, it was done by a really talented artist named Will Stahl, and he also did the Yiddish Policeman's Union and a bunch of other covers. He's really, really very good. I'm very comfortable with people judging this book by its cover. only benefit from that.
It is. That's pretty cool. All right, so our first question is, tell us about the germination of the idea of the book, and so there was an actual book about a vampire pardoned by Andrew Johnson.
Right. It's actually it started with Charles Fort, who was this strange little man who would go to the New York Public Library and the British Museum and the British Library and find all of these incredibly bizarre and strange stories buried in the newspapers. And he would write them down on very, very tiny little slips of paper, and then he turned them into these massive, massive books. And he coined the term teleportation. He talked about rains of frogs and fishes from the sky. He talked about ape men, and before they were called Sasquatch or Bigfoot. And he talked about wild children. And he talked about how in 1867 he found a little newspaper clipping from a paper called the Brooklyn Daily Eagle that President Andrew Johnson pardoned a man accused of killing two of his fellow sailors and drinking their blood. And there was no real explanation for it, no record, just the pardon. And another writer named Robert Damon Schneck wrote a book filled with further investigations of these weird little parts of Americana. And so I read his. He went into it and he did a lot of really good investigative journalism about it. But I just couldn't get over the idea that what if the president pardoned a vampire? What could a president do with a vampire? And actually, probably quite a lot. I mean, dealing with the media is only the first thing. So after that, Congress, it could come in very handy.
I'll take some Congress issues with that. Okay, so secretly, were you just tired of the Twilight and Sookie Stackhouse, and you felt like you had to man up the vampire image?
A little bit, yes. I got to be honest that I felt like there was something that had to be reclaimed a little bit. When I was growing up, I read, Marv Wolfman and Gene Colan's Tomb of Dracula, the comic book, and I saw the Christopher Lee Hammer horror films, and I didn't think vampires were like sexy or mysterious. I just thought they were scary. They were just frightening. And I wanted to bring back the idea of them being terrifying and predators. And I would say that definitely the Sookie Stackhouse books, though. I mean those vampires are plenty mean and macho enough. Eric and Bill are definitely badasses and studs, and they have nothing to worry about there. But
Eric's hot. But Cade is, he's hot.
Cade, yeah. Cade,
I mean, you made him hot. He's not like some barbaric.
No. He's not an animal, but he's separate from all of that. He knows he's evil and he knows he's a predator, and he has no real interest in human beings as romantic objects. At one point in the book, he even says humans are food to us, not love. Yeah,
and he said the thing about the crow. Would you eat a crow? Okay.
Yeah, would you?
See? Yeah. I read it.
Yeah.
Okay, so where did you come up with the disturbing experiments with Conrad and tortures of Zach?
Oh, the tortures, unfortunately, are very real. Those are things that were done in Abu Ghraib and have been done all over the world in torture chambers everywhere. The Diet Coke up the nose is actually I read about that first in a book by Joseph Wambaugh. The Mexican police used to do it during interrogations, and it's apparently extraordinarily painful. Yeah. So the experiments by Conrad were actually just my own twisted imagination, and my mother wants me to tell everyone that
she raised you right.
Yeah, she has no idea where this came from. So.
Ding. All right, so you made Cade a very moral vampire.
Right.
But you pointed out he's a monster.
Yeah.
So is he striving for redemption? Is that
he has no shot at redemption. That's really what makes, I think, his struggle actually more interesting. He knows he's damned, and he knows he's never going to you can't. There are some things you can't take back, and he knows that he can't come back from what he did. So he is trying to do the right thing anyway. He's trying to fight the good fight, even though there's nothing in it for him.
So you just blew my argument.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, we're all sinners. We all have a chance of redemption.
Oh no, all of us, all humans are.
He does, but he
all
doesn't.
humans
He's
are.
damned. Sorry.
All humans are. Well, he also was, this is what he believes.
Right.
Circumstances may prove him wrong, but he was raised in a different century, a different time, and he was raised Calvinist, which is the same doctrine that the Puritans subscribed to. And as religious doctrines go, it makes fundamentalists look like, coke-snorting party animals. It's incredibly bleak. It's the idea is that everyone is damned, only a few are saved, and they are the elect, and they're chosen almost at random by God, and everyone else is screwed. And even if you did a lifetime of good works and did nothing but pray ceaselessly every moment you were awake, you'd still go to hell. So then that's pretty much it. Then it's thanks, folks. Tip your waitresses. Have a nice eternity.
It's funny. Funny. Okay, so can you give us more information about the company and the man with the wired glasses? And does he have something to do with like the other world?
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about that. The Shadow Company is essentially the dark evil twin of our intelligence apparatus. They're responsible for every bad and vicious thing that has been done in the name of the United States for the last 200 years or so. And they have very specific reasons for doing what they do, and that'll come out through the series. The man in the wire-rimmed glasses seems like a very, normal suburban kind of guy, but he's been around a long time and he's been doing this for a while. The main thing is that just they have their own agenda, and they've made alliances with things out there in the dark, and they're
okay. That's what we were wondering.
Yeah.
We were thinking he's playing God. All right, so congrats on selling
thank you.
Your film rights to your books, and that's 2 of them. You sold
the first 2 in the series,
first
yeah.
2, and that's Black Site.
Black Site is the second one. There'll be a lot more about the Shadow Company in that one.
And have you finished writing that already?
I've written the first draft. There's going to be some extensive revising coming up.
So is that going to probably be out in like a year?
That'll be out next year.
Okay, and then so you're working on that now.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so what's in your stack? Like, what are you reading right now? In your spare time.
In all my copious spare time, and all the hours and hours I have to just lounge around. I am reading. I was waiting to read this because he and I have sort of been leapfrogging each other on tour. He's been appearing at places right after I have, or right before I have. Boyd Morrison's The Ark, which is about a group of people who discover Noah's Ark, and I just started reading Christos Gage's book Area 10, which is about a police detective who gets an ice pick to the brain, and it helps him, deal, and it gives him visions of crimes. And I just finished Lee Child's 61 Hours, which is phenomenal.
Oh, we're just talking about that one.
Yeah, it's an amazing. Lee Child is like just the gold standard. He's really great. And I also just finished an advanced copy of John Connolly's The Whisperers. Again, there's an incredibly beautiful writer with incredibly fluent language describing horrible things.
I don't want to read that one, but the other ones I do.
Yeah, no, The Whisperers, I highly recommend John Connolly to everybody who likes anything of the supernatural or crime thriller.
All right. Well,
it's about a very moral man, Charlie Parker, who is sort of trapped in this war between good and evil.
We like a lot of things. Okay, so this is, take a deep breath.